Hi guys. This is Arki Tito. Today, I'm gonna share to you top 10 books for building construction and technology. Let's get right to it. Architect's Handbook of Construction Detailing by David Kent Ballast. The Architect's Handbook of Construction Detailing presents ready-to-use information about critical building details to help you produce construction drawings, design and develop custom details, prepare specifications, and check existing drawings in your files. The details presented can be used directly for common construction situations. If modifications are necessary for unique project conditions, the data presented with each drawing tell you what can and cannot be changed to maintain the integrity of the detail. The construction assemblies in this book have been selected to help you avoid problems in those areas where they are most likely to occur. Information presented in 7 sections shows you how to detail such conditions as exterior cladding, roofing, doors, masonry, and many others so that you can prevent common mistakes that architects seem to repeat far too often. In addition to clearly drawn graphic details, accurate to-the-point information is given to help you coordinate a detail with other parts of your design, specify materials, and develop your own layout if necessary. Architectural Practice and Construction Management by George Salvin. A generation ago, the concept of management as a component of professional design practice was virtually unheard of. A building begins as a conception in the mind of its architect. The conception must be elaborated in his drawing office, adapted to practical considerations, and then conveyed to a number of people who will cooperate in far erection of the building. This book is intended as a reference for all managers of design practice, whether they be professional architects or engineers who have assumed management roles in their firms, or trained managers who have chosen to apply their skills in design firms. It is also hoped that it may find its ways into the education of the increasing number of graduates who will be future architects and engineers and who are wisely choosing to add management degrees to that preparation for practice. Building Construction Handbook by Roy Chudley. The Building Construction Handbook is the authoritative reference for all construction students and professionals. Its detailed drawings clearly illustrate the construction of building elements and have been an invaluable guide for builders since 1988. The principles and processes of construction are explained with the concepts of design included where appropriate. Extensive coverage of building construction practice, techniques, and regulations representing both traditional procedures and modern developments are included to provide the most comprehensive and easy to understand guide to building construction. This new edition has been updated to reflect recent changes to the building regulations, as well as new material on the latest technologies used in domestic construction. This latest edition contains a fresh assessment of the practices, procedures, guidance and legislation appropriate to construction and maintenance of housing and other low-rise buildings. Building Construction Illustrated by Francis D. K. Ching. It would be nearly impossible to cover all building materials and construction techniques, but the information presented herein should be applicable to most residential and commercial construction situations encountered today. Construction techniques continue to adjust to the development of new building materials, products, and standards. What does not change are the fundamental principles that underlie building elements and the ways in which systems are constructed. This illustrated guide focuses on these principles, which can serve as guideposts when evaluating and applying new information encountered in the planning, design, and construction of a building. Each building element, component, or system is described in terms of its end use. The specific form, quality, capability, and availability of an element or component will vary with manufacturer and locale. It is therefore important to always follow the manufacturer's recommendation in the use of a material or product and to pay careful attention to the building code requirements in effect for the use and location of a planned building. Building Design and Construction Handbook by Frederick Merritt. The 6th edition of the Building Design and Construction Handbook maintains the original objectives of previous editions, which gained widespread acceptance among users. These objectives are to provide in a single volume a compendium of the best of the current knowledge and practices in building design and construction. This information would be of greatest use to those who have to make decisions affecting the selection of engineering materials and construction methods. Emphasis is placed on fundamental principles and practical applications, with special attention to simplified procedures. Frequent reference is made to other sources where additional authoritative information may be obtained, such as architectural and engineering societies, manufacturers associations, and the internet. An extensive index is provided to assist the reader in locating topics within the book. Many new contributors and sections have been added in this edition to provide the reader with the latest developments and knowledge in the building industry. Dictionary of Architecture and Construction by Cyril Harris. This fourth edition of the Dictionary of Architecture and Construction defines more terms in architecture and building construction than any other dictionary in the English language. Because there have been significant changes, advances, and new developments in building materials and services, construction techniques, engineering practices, specifications writing, environmental concerns, community regulations, legal requirements, and other areas over the last decade, a total of 2,500 new terms, as well as 100 new illustrations, have been added to this edition. This coverage provides an up-to-date working tool for practicing professionals in the many fields and numerous trades related to architecture and construction, as well as an invaluable resource for conservationists, planners, architectural historians, and students. The dictionary is designed to be comprehensive in scope. Its range spans terms encountered in the practice of architecture from classical to green, from traditional materials to the latest products, from precise definitions of architectural styles to the particulars of specifications writing. Managing the Building Design Process by Gavin Tunstall. The process of designing and constructing new buildings is a complex activity reflecting the skills, perceptions and expectations of many individuals who must attempt to respond to technical and philosophical challenges, resolve debates and deal with the inevitable conflicts associated with working together. The associated personnel difficulties and contractual obligations cannot be dismissed lightly, but in an ideal scenario, everyone should be capable of appreciating how and why decisions are taken so that there is a better chance of achieving the best possible results under the prevailing circumstances. Understanding the process of building design in terms of what should be done rather than who should do it helps to minimize the negative restraints of professional boundaries. This book is based on the author's experience as an architect, but he used the term building designer to describe the process of design and construction of an imaginary new building, offering a broad stage-by-stage explanation of the way in which ideas can become reality. Simplified Construction Estimate by Max Fajardo. Estimate has always been regarded as a valuation based on opinion or roughly made from imperfect or incomplete data. A calculation not professedly exact. An appraisement and also a statement as by a builder in regard to the cost of a certain work. This book is intended for the last definition. As the science and technology advances and the demand for technologists increases, educators, architects, engineers, contractors, carpenters, and other workers in allied fields are becoming more cognizant of the importance and value of near accuracy even in estimates. It is at this juncture that the author, in his desire to be of some help, prepared this edition as an introductory text to facilitate the studies of beginning students and other interested persons who wish an instant answer to their problems involving cost of construction materials. Simplified Methods on Building Construction by Max Fajardo. Experienced builders agree that building construction is considered as the most challenging, complicated, and articulate work in the field of construction. To discuss the subject matter, embracing the whole aspect of building construction from the laying out up to the last touch of the finished work requires several volumes. The author, in this first volume, presents the rudimentary knowledge as well as the technical aspect and procedure of building construction. The book was designed to present the technical trade information in a short, concise, direct and plain language, accompanied with illustrations as a visual aid to the reader. Useful tables, conversion factor and formulae from the English to the metric system, various permit forms, problems and solutions were also incorporated. The book could be of great help to architecture and engineering students, as well as trade school students, carpenters and laymen who have interest in the field of construction. Time Saver Standards for Site Construction Details by Nicholas Dines. The text and illustrations on this manual are aimed at helping the designer to make more informed decisions with regard to selecting the most appropriate materials and method of construction for specific site and use requirements. Design details, together with written specifications, illustrate and describe how design elements are to be furnished, assembled, installed or placed on the site by the contractor. Generally, a construction detail is required to describe ground plane changes in elevation and material or at architectural structure foundations or thresholds. Additionally, details are required to describe site system components such as utilities, stormwater devices, lighting, and other site improvements. Effective site construction details are typically designed to accommodate the intended use intensities, the local climate stresses, subgrade conditions, and subsequent maintenance practices associated with seasonal effects and care requirements. Thanks for watching. If you love our contents, hit the like and subscribe button. Peace out.